Lisbon, Portugal. Located in the western Portugal on the estuary of the Tagus River. Lisbon is one of the most ancient cities of the world. What we know about the old history of the city is that it was called Olisipo, maybe from the Phoenicians Alice Uvo, meaning delightful little port, or maybe from the legend that Odysseus was the city's founder. Consequently, the city became the battlefield for Phoenicians, Greeks, and Bulgarians, but were the Romans the one to reign over the territory for about 2 centuries in 205 BC. After the Roman Empire fell, the Moors, the Muslims of North Africa, invaded the Iberic Peninsula in 714. That's why there are a lot of buildings with colorful tiles, because the Moors had a great influence over the culture. The Moors stayed in the territory for about 400 years, constantly fighting against Catholics, until King Alfonso VI of Castile and Leon arrived to the territory. Lisbon became the most religious city of all Europe. Everyone worshipped God. The 1st of November of 1755 at 9:30 a.m. something shook the city, one of the biggest earthquakes ever recorded. 9.1 degrees in the scale of Richter. After the earthquake, a big tsunami ran over the city, and if things couldn't get worse, the city caught fire for 5 days. 60,000 to 100,000 people died that day. Many believe it was God that was punishing them for not being good enough. After all the events, the right hand of the king, Marqués de Pombal, was the one to have the initiative to reconstruct the city. Lisbon became the most modern city of Europe in that time, because the buildings were against earthquakes. What was happening 100 years ago? Starting in 1918 with the Spanish flu, one of the deadliest pandemics was in Lisbon. 3 to 5% of the population of the world died. In 1920, the population was 484,664. Around this time, new buildings were constructed in the northern part of the city, painted with characteristic colors of Lisbon such as pink, yellow, and light blue. In 1926, the Republic ends, but the dictatorship of Estado Novo conservative regime started. 1930, the Technical University of Lisbon was opened, offering free education for everyone. 1932, the Estação Ferroviária do Sul e Este opened. 1942, Lisboa Portela Airport opened. The Second World War was starting. The Church didn't want Portugal to enter the war. So the 20th of April of 1940, a Portuguese episcopate was held on Fatima as a plea to God to release Portugal from entering the war. When the war ended, the construction of Christ the King started and was finished in 1959. While Christ the King was constructed, in 1954 the Estadio Luz and the Estadio José Alvade opened. In 1959 the Metro of Lisbon was opened. 25th of April Bridge was opened in 1966. It passes over the Tagus River, making it one of the largest of the world. What happened 50 years ago? Population in 1970 was 769,410. In 1974, the Armed Forces movement overthrew the Estado Novo to bring back democracy to Portugal. Expo 98 was the most important event at the time in Lisbon. The theme was Oceans, a Patrimony for the Future. Countries from all over the world came to Lisbon for this event. So many things were built for the arrival of the guests. The things that were built: the Oceanario de Lisboa, the Estação do Oriente, the Bridge Vasco da Gama, the second largest of Europe, the Vasco da Gama Tower with the telecabine, the Pabellón de la Expo 98. What was happening 20 years ago? In 2000, the government and the chiefs of state approved La Estrategia Lisboa, a plan of economic and social growth. The population in 2001 was 564,657. Lisbon expands in all directions after the Expo of '98. City starts the reconstruction of the degradable parts of the city. They open new lines in the metro. In 2007, the economic crisis hits Lisbon, but it recovered really fast from the loss. How will be the future in Lisbon? Lisbon has suffered a lot in the past, but we have seen it rise from the ashes to become one of the most beautiful cities of Europe. Lisbon is a clear example that your history doesn't define you. I am sure this beautiful city has big plans for the future, but while we wait, we can admire all the things Lisbon has to offer for now.